Reality Team TV. We're back. Dean, once again, man, thank you so much for coming onto the red chair, man.
You're welcome, brother.
How you feeling today, man? Before we dive into everything that we need to speak about, how you feeling today, just in general, man? Because it's
I'm
important
blessed.
for the people.
And I'm blessed because I'm in flow.
Yes.
And I'm only in flow because everything that was weight on my shoulders, I removed from my shoulders. And one of the things, knowing because I've done it before, especially when I was in a startup phase with businesses, is that if you're carrying weight from things you're trying to hold on to, you can't move forward freely. And the minute that you get rid of that, everything you were blocking in the universe runs towards you. I mean, runs towards you. So I would think it was on this level, and then the things just start to click in place like a puzzle. Because when you hear things like you block your blessings, it's spiritual. And we don't lay so much mind for the metaphysical laws of the universe. If I said you can't see gravity, can you?
No.
But it's a law. Trust me, if you try to walk from the roof of your house to the roof of the one across the road, you're not going to make it. Because it's a law, and a law is an absolute.
Yeah, for real.
So just because we can't see them and they're intangible, we don't always acknowledge that they exist. But you have to know that they exist because they do exist. And the minute you jump and you obey those laws, the reciprocity of the universe will respond. And it will get right out of the way. And as much as I keep turning, going left, I go right. Yes. It wouldn't happen. There were things I had to drop.
Yeah. And talking about even just diving into it straight away about spirituality, have you always been like this? From young, like did you get to a certain, point in your life and then, the spiritual, aspect, like you started tapping into it more as well. Like how that road for you?
I was always aware of something, but you got to remember our education system is to reduce you. We don't go to school and actually receive an education. We receive an indoctrination so that we can serve the establishment to maintain the status quo. So there are wealthy people who have the governance of planet Earth in every country of the world. They don't want this to change. So they don't create institutions, the public institutions, for people like me and you to be educated. So the most we can actually be is indoctrinated to serve what they've already established. Now, when you're born in your essence, you are completely open to the influence of your ancestors. The libraries that run through your veins. It's not just that you look like your grandfather or your father or your mother or on the other side. Yes. It's that you carry traits. You could have never ever met your grandfather in your life. And now you just eat food like him. And people say to you, do you know he's just like his granddad? So then if these libraries are contained within you, it's because your ancestors are within you and they communicate to you. But what we don't do is develop the actual ear to listen. Once you become aware of spirituality, it's like when I make contact with water, I'll be in the shower and whatever problem I had, the solution would just come to me. And the more aware I became, I said, what is this thing? And then I met my spiritual teacher, Edison Egbanji from Ancestral Essence. I did the literal course in spirituality to hone that communication. And then I had visitations from ancestors where they literally come. And remember, sometimes these things sound fantastical because it's literally educated out of us. Now, if I told you that your herbs that have cured you for 2,000 years don't work, and this NHS that has been around for 75 years has created drugs that can cure this, that, and the third, and now the white man in the white coat that I give all the authority has told you none of that works. What do? And then all of the training for doctors says that doesn't work. Oh, therefore I don't need to look at it because the medical school of practice says those are alternative medicines. Don't look at those. So you can educate out of a man what is tangible, practical, and works. Because it's not an education, it's an indoctrination. And what you find gets funded, so let's say we went in terms of the environment, nothing that says the sun realizes natural sunspots will be funded, and everything that says man-created global warming will be funded. So then let me ask a common sense question, just for the slow seeds.
Yes, dude. Go on.
If the whole Earth was covered in ice, in the Ice Age,
Yeah.
what melted it? It wasn't methane from cows. It wasn't me using deodorant cans.
Yeah.
It wasn't us. Natural sunspots. And they are merely occurring again. Now, if you were in receipt of that information, you could monetize it to tax the masses who weren't aware of these historic things. So the more curious you become, the more you imbue yourself with knowledge. And this is why I say the information age is about knowing, not believing, not following, not being paid to suppress your own knowledge, but knowing. How much do you ultimately want to know? And if you don't want to know, I say don't jump in the rabbit hole at all. Take the blue pill, go back to work, and get told when you go on your lunch break and go to the toilet.
Yeah.
Because if you want to know, you may almost go mad learning how unlike the world you've been told and the reality, 3D reality we live in actually is.
Yeah, it's true. And do you think that's why some people they just choose to not tap into that spiritual realm and just continue just living this day to day, 24 working a 9 to 5, whatever people do. Again, there's nothing wrong with that.
People work 9 to 5, so they are highly spiritually attuned.
Yeah.
So I don't discount that. The two are mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
But there is a space where you can go down all the way down the rabbit hole to understand what actually governs this plane, and that there are interdimensional forces that also influence this plane and those people that govern this plane. And we also have access to those dimensions if we so choose or not.
My question to you is, do you think the human race is getting more dumber or smarter in general, however you want to approach it, with all of these things that are going on? What are your thoughts?
So here's the thing. When 9/11 happened, there were secret cabals that came together. There were two types of shows that they promoted. Government agency and military, they literally gave them grants. And then shows like The X Factor.
Yeah.
Where you get fully involved and distracted. So you look around this time, early 2000s, you see Big Brother, you see X Factor, you see all the emergence of so-called reality TV, which is all scripted to create a narrative to distract you from what is actually happening. Now, if you follow those narratives and you're fully tuned in to the outcomes of what vacuous person is leaving the island, it just sounds like Teletubbies to me. I can't do it.
Yeah.
But if you're fully invested in that, you are literally, your thinking and analytical skills are being eroded by the type of conversations you're having around Big Brother, X Factor,
and all of these
Love Island,
all of these reality TV shows that got put onto distract
So now, as you ask me the question,
Yeah.
do I think people are being dumbed down? If there's a proliferation of information, is what we choose to consume. And do we choose to be happy and entertained, or are we more studious, and we want to learn and be educated? Most of us want to be happy and entertained when we come back from work or in those breaks and zonk out. Why do I want to think? What am I really learning? What are you going to tell me about politics? I don't care about politics. I care about politics every 4 years when I need to vote, based on what the candidates tell me.
The mind, man. The mind is a very crazy thing. And even just one of the things that when I look through some of your conversations that are really, one of the things that I found very fascinating is when you were speaking about the education system. Our education system, again, like I said, I've got a daughter. She's gonna start, my oldest daughter, she's gonna start secondary school, this September. And once again, as a father who's got a child who's going into the secondary schools now, and she's slowly growing up, I'm thinking more once again. And one of the things, once again, that I think about is the education system is ever since I was in school, our parents, people's parents was in school. Another key question that I want to ask you is how much change do you think the education system has made ever since we was in school compared to what's happening now? Because for me personally, I feel like it's still kind of the same, and I'm shocked.
No, it's not the same.
Okay, cool. Go on.
There's huge changes.
Okay.
And none of them are virtuous.
Okay.
So they're all negative changes.
Oh, okay.
So now, if you're in secondary school, where you would have had more interaction
Yes.
in terms of being able to communicate with a teacher, that's a lot less. You think you can go to toilet because you need to go to toilet? No, you will go when we tell you. They may even lock the toilets in the class times. Similarly, now, when I was in school, I remember that Margaret Thatcher had made it illegal for teachers to actually speak about politics in school.
Okay.
But now, if I tell you that a man with body dysphoria is a woman and you're not allowed to have an opinion as a young person, and if you have an adverse opinion, you will see yourself outside of this classroom in an exclusion room.
Crazy. That's crazy.
That goes on your permanent record, because now as we move into blockchain, everything goes into permanent records. So now I'm actually telling you how to think. So a woman with a penis, which is a personality disorder, has been promoted as a mainstream adoption by BlackRock, by George Soros, by Bill Gates, even for these companies to get investment, which is why every single one of them adopt the rainbow. So now all the mystery's been taken out of that. So when you look at these billion-dollar companies, you think from their balance sheet they can maintain a business. Now, I've done that over the course of years, and I thought, I'm nothing and nobody with this independent business, and I maintain the balance sheet. They get constant investment from the hedge funds that come with strings. Rainbow flag. Men are women. There is no opposition. Remember I said that one narrative will be funded?
Yes.
And one narrative will be attacked. And then when you attack that narrative, if you imagine that you are a hedge fund investment company, you invest in TV platforms, social media platforms, all banks, all of the public entities
sports
that
platforms
exist,
and all of these
you name it. All the way on down, you will see people come with their position and shift their position. So now we come to the ultimate question. Why do I say what I want when I want? Because I'm free. But do you know what freedom is? Ultimate freedom.
These days, sometimes I don't even know what freedom is, to be
It's
fair.
exactly the same as it's always been. Do you know what freedom is? If it's no, it's cool.
Yeah. No, like I said, not really, because like I said, these days people have got different meanings of freedom.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What freedom actually is your capacity as a sovereign man with all his inalienable rights to solve every single one of your own problems. Any one of your own problems that you can't solve is to the degree that you're not free. And if you desire to be free, because you don't want to be told what to do, then now you have to improve that string to your bow so that you can now solve that problem for yourself. So you're not reliant on any other man who can tell you, no, now this is your position. So I extrapolate myself from society. To improve myself in every area where I can't solve my own problems. So if I can't keep all of these things somewhere and now I need to keep trying to save that, let it go.
Yes.
And now I'm free. Because you're free to have nothing, you know.
And sometimes freedom, do you think, like you see, even now, especially like in, obviously a lot of us, we're foreigners, we're in countries that we're not wasn't born, whatever, that we just immigrate to a lot of these countries. Yeah. Do you think a lot of us could ever be complete? This might sound like a crazy question, but let me just ask again. Do you think a lot of us would ever be, completely free in these countries that we're not originally from? Because the reason why I say that is because, once again, over the years, I realized, a lot of us, we immigrate with our own, obviously, cultures, with our own beliefs. But then we come into these countries where it's like they don't really carry the same beliefs and they don't really have the same culture and they do things different. And sometimes I see, like, obviously, a lot of us, we end up clashing because it's like, we're in these new environments. They operate different. They don't think the way we think. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So that's why I asked the question, like, do you think that a lot of us immigrants who come from different countries, to a lot of these countries in Europe, we would ever be free, completely free, like in these countries that we immigrate in?
So first of all, just forget everybody else. Deal with yourself as a man. Can I be free? coming with brown skin
Good one, yeah.
in a country of people with pink skin.
Yeah.
You're either free or you're not free.
Mm.
The whole planet is yours because you are sovereign with freedom of expression and freedom of movement. Now, here's the thing.
Yeah.
You might half believe that. You see this thing, sovereignty.
Yeah.
It's not something you can believe. You got to know. You either are or you aren't.
You're not.
Let a policeman stop me on the road.
Mm.
What crime are you stopping me for, or am I free to go? You are not detaining me because I am a free sovereign with all my inalienable rights.
Yes.
So when you talk about will we, Malcolm X is gone. He died
Definitely gone.
because he cared for the people. I've personally been through that journey. People do not want a hero. I am not here to save anybody. Again, we weren't all sovereigns. Sovereigns were learned men in societies who knew and desired to be. They did not desire it for somebody who didn't desire it for themselves, and neither do I. However,
I get you.
I do invite men on a journey of self-improvement who desire to be free, who are on it to come and join and learn and take. But you have serfs and landowners. You have what is called the great unwashed. I have no concern of the great unwashed. In the age of information where you can know, if you don't know, I take it that you don't want to. And I'm okay with that. Because if I eat toast, you can't taste it. If I drink coffee, you can't taste it. So I'm not here for you to taste my coffee or taste my toast. I'm good, because when I experience it, I enjoy. I'm not here to lead anybody, irrespective of whether or not I have leadership skills. I'm nobody's leader.
Yeah.
And if there's something attractive, adopt it. And if not,
just keep on moving. Keep getting on with your life. I understand. And